Good evening, friends. My name is Becky and I like to read. It's the best, like, Transylvanian vampire thing I can do. Anywho, hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. Today is going to be a vampire-themed reading vlog. This is as vampiric as I get. I forgot to buy some stick-on nails and some fake fangs. So I'm just working with what I have, which is makeup, that I'm not a makeup artist, so this is as good as it gets, and, you know, a red shirt. I have not read a good vampire book in quite a while. Back when I first started loving to read, I of course read Twilight. It's the book that got me into reading, and I was obsessed with anything YA vampire related. So I went through the whole gamut of YA vampire books, and then once I exhausted myself of reading YA vampire stories, I moved into the adult paranormal romance sphere with all of the vampires. All these books right here are among them. So this will be me reading 3 vampire books, and hopefully I can find one that I really enjoy. So the first book that I finished for this vlog was The Lights of Prague by Nicole Jarvis. I didn't even know that this had vampires in it until I started listening to the audiobook. I knew it was a historical fantasy and it involved monsters in Prague, but I didn't apparently read the synopsis very well because I didn't know it had vampires, which I should have known because there's bats on the cover, but your girl didn't put 2 and 2 together. This is about a man named Domek who is a lamplighter in Prague. He goes around and he lights all the oil lamps, but when he's not doing that, he is a vampire hunter. But unbeknownst to him, he ends up falling for a woman who is a vampire, but he doesn't know she's a vampire. I really enjoyed this story. I gave it 5 stars. I loved the originality of it. I loved that I was surprised by it. I liked the audiobook narration of it. I loved that it was from a male perspective. I loved that there was just a slight touch of romance in it. It is not romance heavy, but there is just a slight little romance atmosphere to it. I loved that this book included a will-o'-the-wisp character. I have never read a book with a will-o'-the-wisp point of view before. I actually don't think I've read a book with a will-o'-the-wisp character at all. So that was incredibly unique to me, and I loved that aspect of it. This is a historical fantasy, like I mentioned, which is one of my favorite things. I love the Prague setting. I actually got to cross off another country within my Read Around the World challenge with this book, so that was an excellent added bonus to it. And I think this would be a great book to read in the fall. It's very atmospheric, it's got lots of fall vibes, and it just, I don't know, it was just really unique, and I'm very happy that the first book that I read for this vlog was actually one that I enjoyed. The next book I read for this vlog was A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. I listened to this on audio. It sounded like this was written in a diary way. I didn't read the physical copy, so I couldn't see if it was written in diary form, but it sounded like it was. And this is the story of one of Dracula's brides whose name I can't actually remember, but it is her story of telling how she went from falling in love with Dracula to killing him. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I liked it. It was a very quick read. It hooked me from the start. It kept my attention, and I liked her relationship with her other, like, sister slash bride and her son slash groom. It's weird, okay? I am not somebody who really enjoys, like, polyamorous relationships. I am a monogamous bitch. I like it to be one-on-one characters. It's the reason why I don't really like reverse harem books as well. It's just not one that left a lasting impression for me. It's not something that I would reread, but I definitely recommend it, especially if you love anything to do with the Dracula lore. It includes some more vlog footage and decorate our tree for Halloween. Yes, we have kept our tree up all year long. We've been decorating it for each of the different holidays, and since it is now about to be October, it's about time to spookify it. So I thought I would share with you guys the haul that I got to decorate the tree. I got all of this stuff at the dollar store, so we got this shit cheap. But it's pretty cute stuff. We got 2 sets of ribbons. These ribbons are not very long from the dollar store, so we get 2 of each. This one has bats on it. This one just has webs and it says Happy Halloween. We got 2 skeletons to hang on the tree. I don't know how it's gonna work, but we got them. We got 4 cases of Halloween balls. We got some smaller ornaments, so they are just orange and black. We got 3 cases of these little clip-on bats. They clip to them. I got purple and black. We've got 2 spiders that survived from last year. We got these little witch's brooms that will probably stick out of the tree. We got these little pumpkin stick things. So we got orange, white, and then leftovers from last year are these sparkly ones. Lastly, we got these little signs, welcome to our haunted house, and the witch is in. So we will hang those up. So let's get to decorating this tree, shall we? Coney Joe. I read for this blog was Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. So this is an adult urban fantasy set in Mexico City. It is about a vampire named, I think it's pronounced Atul, and her friend Domingo. And Domingo is like a trash collector, and he sort of helps Atul get the blood she needs. He also sort of becomes her a bloodletter. And she is trying to escape the city, but corpses are piling up and they are trying to evade the police and things like that. So I did listen to this one on audio as well. It was a very quick read. I ended up giving it 3 stars though. I was kind of bored with a lot of it. I didn't really feel a connection between Atul and Domingo. I felt a much stronger connection between her and her dog. But overall, I just found my mind drifting as I was reading it, and it just didn't hold my attention enough for me to even really remember to recommend it to people as a story. I would say if you're interested in urban fantasies, this is a quick read. Definitely check it out. It's something a little bit different. But overall, it just didn't do anything for me, unfortunately. So those are the books that I read for this vampire-themed reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these or what was the last vampire book that you read. And until my next video, read something vampiric for me.